thank you so much for making the time to come here today and join us for this conversation. So now more often than not, tech is by many people seen as a great equalizer for solving some of the world's leading challenges. But the key to enable this is and remains to be the access to capital. Your Excellency, why should global investors consider Africa as an opportunity for investments?
First of all, it is long overdue. That's why they need to really consider that. I don't see why Africa, like any other part of the world, where human beings with the brain and other gifts from the time we were all created. I've never understood why there should be a particular geographical place where everything is to be underestimated or underrated. And therefore the investors need to bear that in their minds, that Africa has everything the rest of the world has, even more. But when it comes to people, I think we should consider ourselves as equal with any other people anywhere in the world. Now, but there are also resources, other resources other than just people that we can tap into and grow and connect with the rest of the world for our own success, but also for the success of the rest of the world. So the investors need just not to look at Africa as a big market, which it is, but also a thriving people, society that to a great extent will match or even supersede actually what exists elsewhere in the world. So the investors need to consider that, and of course the next consideration for any investor is you invest for a purpose, and is that purpose going to be served? Is the profit you want to and the growth you want to make out of that going to happen? I think I can say it is guaranteed that it will happen.
Well, thank you. And why do you think starting in Rwanda can de-risk your investment into Africa?
Well, first of all, we are deliberate in Rwanda. In terms of creating the environment that will enable us to achieve what we want to achieve. In the same way, us doesn't mean just particularly Rwandans. It means Africans, it means people from anywhere else in the world who want to invest with us or do business with us. And that thinking, therefore, provides for an environment that lowers the risk anybody would face when they have taken chance with us and believed in us that we can do things like that and do as expected in terms of holding each other's hand and moving forward.
Your Excellency, my name is Alex Kalanda, and I am the founder and CEO of IAMBES Zero. We're a climate tech startup where we accelerate the deployment of climate finance in the least climate resilient regions. Your Excellency, we operate in about 9 African countries, among others. As a leader, you've often emphasized the need to ensure countries can share their expertise with one another. We break down barriers that can foster collaboration, but also emphasize the need for Africans to seek opportunities that give them a sense of dignity, as well as raising our expectations to global standards. Why is this level of Pan-Africanism or solidifying this collaboration very important for you? And what advice would you give us as we scale?
I think Africa being where we are already speaks for itself in a sense that we are where we are in comparison with other countries across the world because of something that is lacking. And what is lacking that we need to be looking at and resolving is, one, do you have belief in yourselves? Do we Africans have belief in ourselves and what we are capable of? And then to move ahead and do what needs to be done so that we raise ourselves to the level where the rest of the world is. Because I don't see anything else that is lacking in this sense. So one is the belief in ourselves. Two is doing the right things we must do. Again, you always bear in mind the environment, the rest of the world. What is it that could be done? And in that process, you are actually putting yourself on the path to regain that dignity that we should have had in the first place, but which lacks, especially when we have to compare ourselves with what we see elsewhere, and then sometimes we don't think of doing what we need to do to raise ourselves, but think about jumping to the other and asking them to lift us up. This whole process of putting yourself in a dignified position should not be something we should be asking somebody else to do for us. Nobody owes you a thing, really. You owe it to yourselves. Africans, we owe it to ourselves to lift ourselves up and work with others as equal partners. So I'm glad that you are involved in that space you've just talked about. That means you are rightly tapping into the opportunities available, whether it is original education or the environment that provides different opportunities that you are now ready to tap into, and the sky becomes the limit.
Your Excellency, my name is Vicky Akaniwabo. I am the Managing Director of Hens Technologies Rwanda. It's a data and AI company that is building products for global companies, and our current focus is legal. I would also like to mention that I am a product of Carnegie Mellon University, Africa. Mm-hmm. Your Excellency, there's a global debate around artificial intelligence on things like its ethics, its safety, and for Africa specifically, things like its preparedness or readiness to adopt AI. I'm curious, what is your view on artificial intelligence, and what is your advice for us, the tech entrepreneurs who are trying or who aspire to help Africa leapfrog and also actually make it a leader in artificial intelligence? Thank you.
Yeah. To begin with, everything new that comes to society raises certain concerns. In fact, let's begin with look at technology as a whole. Technology has a huge benefit, provides that and advantage in terms of productivity and different kinds of things, and it lifts people to a much higher level generally. But it is important to walk that path while you are thinking of what are the benefits in actual sense, but what are also the dangers that come with these new tools and thinking and so on to society. Now, there are now even more concerns when it comes to artificial intelligence. But those concerns should also be looked at with artificial intelligence than many other technologies, and therefore we need to balance the two. The accelerated benefits in terms of what AI provides as a new and sophisticated technology, but again with the same mind, what are likely to be the dangers, so that again people work towards managing that, regulating that. Sometimes people tend to approach things with either or, but I don't think that's what we should be doing. We should be saying, does this have benefits? To what extent? As a new thing. But does it also have some dangers? So how do we work to mitigate that and make sure that the benefits override on the dangers that are likely to be there? And there is no way a single entity, nation, company, country, or individuals would manage that alone. So there has to be collaboration. There has to be thinking together, because what is coming out of these new technologies and like the artificial intelligence affects the whole world. It doesn't just affect one person, one company, one nation. So that therefore, I've seen there are debates around that about regulation. Some people say, no, if you regulate, there are these dangers. If you don't regulate, it's like, so we have got to find a way forward together and minimize the dangers that people are thinking about, but also maximize the benefits that are likely to come along with that.
Thank you.
My name is Eugene Gwagasore. I co-founded a company called Pindo, a cloud communication platform for businesses. Rwanda is known to take risks, going above and beyond. Some say we are a startup nation, and others say that we may be punching above our weight. You attracted ILCAD and Zipline, to say the least. At Pindo, we are aspiring to scale our communication tools using AI so that communities in Africa can engage and communicate in this digital age using our native languages. And that requires really a big undertaking on our behalf, something that you always do. As a leader, what makes you believe in yourself to take those risks, regardless of the challenges they may bring with them? Thank you.
If anybody anywhere in this world is going to be to do something that is worthwhile, anything of any value, it's not going to be without risk. So you have to go to choose. Do you take the risk in trying to achieve something of a very high value, or do you not take the risk and end up doing nothing and being nothing? So you've got to consider these things. So we don't take the risk just for the sake of it. We take risk where risk must be taken that is going to give us that value in what we want to achieve, and therefore the two are correlated. The whole idea of punching above one's weight. First of all, why do you have that weight that you are going to be worried about? So then you need to consider that. You need to also work upon that to make sure that what you are going to be doing, whether you are punching or doing whatever, it's commensurate to your weight. So, in other words, everything has to be going up. But, well, called a startup nation like some others have been and so on and so forth, yeah, you've got to start from somewhere to go along the journey you want to take. So, and you want to take that journey that puts you on a growth path. And then you keep dealing with the obstacles that stand in your way as you grow. So, and some of the things we have to deal with, and our partners are actually supporting us a lot. That's why Norrsken and Nicholas, I have to thank you for this. These partners are working with Africa, with Africans, and there is a lot they are bringing to this journey that we want to walk and succeed. And the question is, Africa? Yes, I'm going back to the same question. We need to ask ourselves. And it doesn't matter the size of the country. Yes, Rwanda is a small country. Now 13.5 million people. There are bigger countries, even 10 times that or more. But does that stop anybody being important because the country is small? I'll tell you, the country can be small, but the value can be very high. So you've got really to have this mindset. Do you want to be big but small value, or do you want to be small but very high value? So the equalizer is the value, and you can have high value when you are small. You can have high value when you are big. Ordinarily, the thing should be, well, the bigger should also give us the higher value. But it doesn't work like that, as you know. Yes, you can be big and small value. You can be small and high value. It is all embedded, locked up in our heads. What do you want to get? In other words, you can, well, saying startup nation, you can also say some of these nations are, in a sense, the idea. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? So if it doesn't matter what weight or what size of a country, if you are a bad idea, then there is a problem. But if you want to be a good idea, and therefore from this good idea create value, you will really, get as far as where you want to go, irrespective of your size. So my dear friend, I have no apologies trying to punch above my weight.
Thank you so much for this insightful conversation, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame.
Thank you.